Hello everybody, myself Jyoti Mam from the Suraj School, Rewari. Today we are going to discuss the topic eye defects from the class 10th physics. Students, common eye defects are myopia and hypermetropia. So first of all, we are going to discuss myopia. Myopia means the eye defect in which a person cannot see the distant object clearly but can see the nearby object very clearly. Just like in myopia, the far point affected, we know that the far point is at infinite. So from the infinite, from the far point, when parallel rays reach to the eyes, then due to the defect, these parallel rays converges just before the retina. Means these rays could not reach at the retina. That's why the person could not see the far object clearly, because image could not be formed on the retina very clearly. Now, how can we correct this defect? With the help of diverging lens, concave lens, this defect could be corrected like this way. It is our eye. We wear the spectacle of concave lens. Concave lens is the diverging lens. So when the rays from the infinite, rays from the far point reaches at the concave lens, it diverges these rays. And after the divergence, these rays converges at the point of retina, where signal of image formed and the person could see the object clearly. It is the virtual far point and it is the actual far point. So, now the question arises, why persons suffer from myopia? Look this diagram. In this diagram, if the focal length of the eye lens decreases, focal length of the eye lens becomes shorter, then myopia may be happen. And if the size of eyeball increases, these two are the reasons of myopia. Now, the second common eye defect is hypermetropia. Hypermetropia is also known as the long-sightedness. In this defect, person cannot see the nearby object clearly but can see the distant object, can see the far objects very clearly. How? In hypermetropia, are near point affected, and near point is at 25 centimeter. So from the near point, when light rays reaches at the eye lens, due to the defect, these rays could not be converges at the retina. And it causes hypermetropia. But now, how can we correct this defect? With the help of converging lens, convex lens. This defect, hypermetropia, can be corrected. When these rays reach at the convex lens, converging lens, this convex lens converges the light rays, and after the converging, the eye lens again converges the light rays and these reaches at the retina, converges at the point of retina where image formed. It is the near point, that is at the 25 centimeter. But for the defected person, for the eye defected person, the near point is far apart from the actual near point. Now, how the person suffer from hypermetropia, means the causes of hypermetropia. Why a person suffer from hypermetropia? Look at this diagram, that if the focal length of the eye lens becomes increases, then this defect arises. And the second reason is, if the size of the eyeball becomes smaller, becomes shorter, then this defect also arises. Why the convex lens used to correct the hypermetropia? We see that in hypermetropia, in the defected eye, the converging power of the eye lens decreases. So, if we use the converging lens, it corrected the lower converging power of the eye lens, and light rays reaches at the retina and image can be formed. Now the third type, what will happen if a person suffer from myopia as well as hypermetropia? That is also an eye defect, and that is known as presbyopia, and it is also known as old sightedness. Because mostly in old days people suffer from presbyopia. In presbyopia, a person suffer from myopia as well as hypermetropia, means could not see nearby object clearly as well as far object clearly. So that in the correction of presbyopia, person uses bifocal lens, in which at the lower side convex lens is used and at the upper side concave lens is used, so that person can see nearby object clearly as well as far object clearly. Students, presbyopia arises due to the weakening of ciliary muscles. If ciliary muscles becomes weak, then the ciliary muscles could not adjust the focal length of eye lens very less and very large. That's why person could not see very clearly nearby as well as far object clearly. Thank you and have a nice day.